Hi guys, and welcome to our Gilmour inspired study. Now what we're going to be looking at is everything David Gilmour. So we're going to be not only going through two really cool solos that are in the style of David Gilmour, but also looking behind the scenes at how he gets his sound, what kind of techniques he uses, everything that goes into David Gilmour as a guitar player. Now in this lesson we're going to start by looking at this tune Uncomfortably Sensitive that we've named. Now hopefully you can all guess what that's based upon, and certainly listening to the track you should be able to guess it, but it's a classic Gilmour vibe. You know, we've got that big distortion, we've got delay coming from all over the place, and fundamentally we've got loads of cool techniques that we need to learn, okay? So we're going to be going through what kind of scales he's using, what techniques he's using, and we're going to start today by looking at the first three licks of that solo, okay? So what I want to do first is just break it down. I'm just going to play you the first three licks. I'm going to put the big muff on, and if you want to know more about all the gear stuff, we do go into that in a kind of gear study after the course. I'm going to put the delay on and play through the first three licks, and then we'll break them down. So here we go. There's my pedals, get them on. And the first three licks sound like this. Alright, so let's turn those pedals off for now. They're the first three licks that we're going to try and play through. So let's just start by putting in the correct key. We're in the key of B minor. So basically to kick off these first three licks, I'm using pentatonic shape 1 and pentatonic shape 2 in B minor. So just as a recap, pentatonic shape 1 in B minor, it starts up here on the 7th fret, okay? And we're going to go like this. Let's change that. Okay, and then position 2. Now, if you're studying your David Gilmour stuff and this study, then I expect that as an absolute basic, you know your pentatonic shapes, your 5 shapes of your pentatonic. They're going to be used throughout this course. So you're using those first 2 shapes, okay? And the opening lick is simply this. So I'm going to play it nice and clean. Okay, so basically all I'm doing is I'm sliding into pentatonic shape 1. I'm going from the 7th fret up to the 9th fret, pentatonic shape 1, then grabbing the 7th fret of the G string, and then on the G string I'm going to bend this 9th fret up a whole tone. Okay, so as far as a whole tone bend goes, you're looking to get up 2 frets. Okay? Okay, and then when you get to the top of that bend, we just want to give it a little bit of vibrato. Not too much, we want to get to the sound first, and then just at the end, just give it a little bit of vibrato. Okay, so for a lot of you guys, the vibrato on the end is going to be the tricky bit. You've got to really have good control of that bend. I always recommend doing the bends with the 3 fingers at the same time. So not only just bending that one up, because that's going to be really hard, we actually use all 3 fingers to bend up. Okay? Now, as soon as you've done that first bit, we're up here, remember, on the bend. We're gonna stop the note dead, okay? It never comes back down. And then we're gonna do the bend again. But this time we are gonna bring it back down. We're gonna pull off, go back to the B root note on the D string, and then back up the G string. Okay? So you get this. Okay, nice and slow again. So we go bend up, down, pull off to the B, then we're going to go back to the G string, and then a double hit on the 9th fret of the G string. So lick 1 all together sounds like this. Okay, so let's have a little look at lick 2. Remember, when you're learning licks like this back to back, you really want to just spend the time on one lick, get it absolutely nailed, just go over and over it until you've got it. Then look at lick 2. Once you've got lick 2, you put those 2 together before going on to lick 3. So even though I'm going to go through them in sequence, you know, quite quickly, you can take your time, pause the video, and then come back at your own pace. So, lick 2 sounds like this. Okay, so obviously nice and clean for the moment, we're practicing like that. Now basically all I'm doing is I'm sliding up to pentatonic shape 2. So I'm going from my 9th fret with my 2nd finger on the G string up to the 11th fret. Then I'm going onto the B string, 10th fret. And obviously we're now in that little kind of BB box, you might want to call it, in the pentatonic shape 2. And I'm going to grab the B string, 12th fret, and we're going to bend that up a tone and a half. Okay? So this is crucial here at this point. A tone and a half basically equates to 1, 2, 3 frets up, okay? So we're looking to get to that note. So it involves really pushing up on that bend, and this is a classic Gilmour sound. These bends are so typical with Gilmour, okay? So you've got to really get the pitch right. So we go up a tone and a half, so you're going to really push through that. Okay, then immediately you kind of stop the sound. Okay, so I just do that by just touching the plectrum on the string. It just stops the sound, and then do a full tone bend immediately afterwards. Okay, so a full tone bend is simply just your normal 2 fret bend. So you basically go from 3 frets to 2 frets, essentially. So it sounds like this. Now after the full bend, you bring it back down. Okay, and then pull off, okay, back to the 10, okay. So let me put that together, you get this. Okay, and you can see we finish on the 12th fret of the B string. Okay, so one more time. Okay. So then at this point, to end the lick, to finish this lick off, we're going to go to the 10th fret and the 12th fret of the high E string and go like this. Okay, so all we're doing here is we're just going from 10, 12, and then doing a full tone bend up and down, pulling off, and then back to the B root note. Okay, so that's just like this. Okay. So that lick all together sounds like this, nice and clean, nice and slow. Okay, now then, lick number 3 is a nice quick one, nice easy one to do, but it can be quite hard, so it goes like this. Okay, so we're back in our pentatonic shape 1 in B minor, and we're literally just doing a little pull-off exercise going down the neck. So we're starting on the 10th fret with our little finger, or you can do the 3rd finger, whatever you prefer, and we're going to pull off back to the 7. Okay, then we're going to come back to the 9th fret on the G string and hit it once, and then again, and pull off the 2nd time. So you get... And then we're going to do a double hit on the root note of the B. So you get... So you just got to make sure those pull-offs are nice and loud, so they should sound the same kind of volume as the picking part does, really. Okay, but of course with the pull-offs. And as for what finger you use, totally up to you. You know, if you prefer to use the little finger there, and then down to the 3rd finger here, that's absolutely fine. So, what I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to pop a drum beat on, and I'm going to play through those first 3 licks. I'm going to do it with the big muff, with the distortion and the delay, so it sounds a bit more genuine. And I'm going to do it along to the beat, because a really important part of learning any Gilmour solo is getting the rhythm right. It's all in the rhythm and the timing. Okay, so let's get our beat on. We're using 70 BPM, which is the speed of this solo. Okay, so I'm going to start at 70, and then I'll actually slow it down a bit and do it even slower. Okay, so here's our lovely beat. There we go, enjoy that. I will equip myself with the big muff and the delay, and we're going to give this a try. Okay, so I'm going to count myself in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lick 3. Alright, so that's obviously full pace. Now, let's just drop it down a little bit. So we come all the way down to 50 BPM. We're going to slow it right down using 8th notes, okay? And I'm going to play through it. So, I'll count ourselves in again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lick 2. Lick 3. All right, let's stop that there. So, big muff off, delay off for now. There we have it. There's your first 3 licks. Use the actual tab and the kind of the fact that you can slow that down and see the video at the same time to really help you along here. But specifically focus on lick 1, 2, and 3. Get those 3 nailed and learn, and then move on to the next video where we'll look at the next set of licks.